I feel like the MCU right now has been pretty mixed. It got me a little bit skeptical of how the multiverse saga is going to continue. What is up, guys and MCU fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brinker, and today, of course, we have a new MCU movie out right now and another Marvel movie that bombed this year. Yeah, not just for MCU, this is a very terrible year for blockbuster movies with box office success. So today I'm going to review The Marvels. This movie is directed by Nia DaCosta and stars Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, Iman Vellani, Zawe Ashton, and Samuel L. Jackson. And of course, guys, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil any elements from this movie. You guys are completely safe here. Carol Danvers, known as Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan, known as Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together to save the universe. Yeah, the track record of the MCU right now has not been the best since after the Infinity Saga. With Phase 4 being very mixed, there are some good ones, but there are some disappointing ones. And Phase 5, honestly, so far has been very disappointing as a phase. With Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, not a great start to the Phase 5. And Secret Invasion, seriously, this is one of the worst MCU shows that I have ever seen. It started off great, and then it just completely bombed at the end. I'm not going to count Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as a multiverse saga movie, because honestly, that movie stands on its own, and I think it's a great conclusion to this trilogy. So I'm not even going to count that movie as an MCU movie at all, because it felt like its own thing in a very good way. That's why I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 so much. But when it comes to the multiverse saga, honestly, it's been very mixed for me. So ever since that track record, I was just starting to lose faith of the MCU. So of course I was not anticipating for the Marvels. I thought the trailers did not impress me, even though I do love the cast of the movie. And Nia DaCosta, I think she's a really good director. I really enjoyed that Candyman movie. I just was not anticipating because of the track record that the MCU is doing right now. So what do I think of the Marvels? Does it deserve to bomb in the box office like most blockbusters that came out this year did? Here's what I gotta say. Did I have fun with the Marvels? Yes. Was this movie entertaining? Absolutely. This is better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Absolutely. But this movie does have issues. It's definitely not a great MCU film, but at least I had fun with the movie, and I feel like that's all that counts here. Let's start talking about what I liked about the movie first. First off, the three main leads. If it wasn't for these main leads, this movie would have been one of the most forgettable movies in the entire MCU. Brie Larson, especially as Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, she is great in this film. This is definitely the best that she's ever been as Captain Marvel, because she definitely has her emotional stake in the film. And her character development was actually really well explored in this film. And Brie Larson, she definitely looks like she had a lot of fun filming this movie, because she's definitely much more charismatic than she was in the other MCU properties. I thought she does a great job in the film. Also, Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau. I really liked her in WandaVision, and I also thought she's really good in this film. I think she has a really good chemistry with Brie Larson in this film. The chemistry is definitely much more explored in this film, and it's actually developed very well. But I gotta say, guys, the one that completely stole this movie, and I think everyone would agree, Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel. She is fun in this movie. She's definitely the best part about this movie. I really do like the Miss Marvel show. I thought the Miss Marvel show was actually a lot of fun, and Iman Vellani just brings the whole performance out well. She looks like she had a lot of fun in the MCU, and just her acting of fun really brings it out in this movie. Because I feel very related to Miss Marvel in this film, because she's definitely a fangirl in this film. She is a fan of Carol Danvers. She's a fan of Marvel superheroes. So seeing her in this light, I thought brings a lot of joy to this film. Seriously, Iman Vellani, I cannot wait to see Miss Marvel going forward in the entire MCU, because she is definitely one of the better new characters in the entire MCU. And she's definitely one of my favorites out of the three. She definitely brings a lot of heart to this film, and she brings a lot of great humor to the film. She's definitely the best part about this movie. But I gotta say, the main three in this movie has such a great chemistry with each other. You like them three together. During the action scenes, during the development of these characters, they're actually a pretty solid team. So them three in the movie, what makes this movie a lot of fun, and honestly, I thought the acting was very solid in this film. The action was also a lot of fun. It had some really good action scenes, the visual effects even look really good in this film. It definitely improves more with the MCU with some terrible CGI at some films that they did. I would say the visual effects in this movie is actually really well done. And this film does have some good humor. Even though there are some cringy moments, which we'll get back to that in the flaws, the humor actually does land at a couple of parts for me. But here's what it is. This movie is just fun. There's nothing else with this movie except that it's just fun. And I feel like that's what my biggest issue comes with this movie. I do like the concept of every time the Marvels use their powers at the same time, they switch places at random times and moments. I thought that's a very interesting plot in the film, and that actually is the fun part about this film. But the story in general, it's just another MCU film. It has the same story, you know, stopping this bad guy from doing this shit every single time. I know that's most comic movies, it has to work like that, but at least bring something unique to the table, at least bring something a little bit original. This movie is like most MCU films right now. It has its moments, it's entertaining to watch, it's definitely entertaining on the big screen, but that is it. It's just entertaining and fun. It's not a great movie, it's not even a good movie either, it's just a fun and entertaining movie. You can probably watch one and only, and that's mainly about it. I feel like the importance with this movie, comparing to the multiverse without spoiling it, is honestly like the ending and the mid-credit scene. That's the only importance that this film brings out. The rest, it just felt like another MCU film with the exact similar story that most MCU films have these days. Also, let's talk about the villain of this movie, played by Zawe Ashton. My God, she seriously makes the villain in For the Dark World a much better villain, because seriously, this is one of the most bland, emotionless, generic, forgettable villains that I've seen in the MCU in a very long time. The first time this villain shows up, I'm like, she's forgettable. Honestly, there's nothing too special about her character. It's not Zawe Ashton's fault. She really tries in this film. Her performance is not that bad. It's just the way they've written this villain. This villain is definitely a very bland, generic, and forgettable villain, and the movie just wants us to think she's very forgettable. Because of how undeveloped her character is, she's just another villain with a purpose for the Marvels to basically fight. Even some of the characters in this movie doesn't need to be in this movie at all, such as Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Why is he in this film? He has no purpose being in this film except that he's in the first Captain Marvel film, so he has to be in this one, but he has no purpose, and Nick Fury is basically the comedic relief in the film. What happened to this badass S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in the Avengers? Or even Secret Invasion, he was badass. It was definitely the best part about that show. This movie, he's just a comedic relief, and his jokes definitely don't lay for me. He's just in this movie because he's Nick Fury. He's Samuel L. Jackson. He has no purpose being in this movie. If he wasn't in this movie wouldn't make a complete difference whatsoever. Also, there are some very cringy moments in this film as well. There is a moment in this film that, honestly, I feel like people are going to be talking about this moment and just saying MCU is dead because of this moment here. You know what bit I'm talking about, and honestly, it was supposed to be funny. I did not laugh at all. So there's going to be some jokes in this movie that lay very flat, but some of the jokes actually do work. So the comedy is definitely very mixed bag for this film. This is definitely another MCU film that is very safe and very, very simple. Which, to the point, I think we're tired of that already. Bring something new to the table. Bring something original. And I feel like the MCU right now has been pretty mixed. It got me a little bit skeptical of how the multiverse saga is going to continue, except after the mid-credits scene of this film and Loki Season 2. After Loki Season 2, I'm very curious to see where this multiverse saga is going to go on. But with movies in general and in TV series, they really need to get back on track. MCU needs to get back on track to be where it used to be so it can go out and be excited for a Marvel film. But right now, I feel like a lot of people saying, you know what, it's an MCU film, we'll watch it, but it's not going to be what it's used to be. And we don't want that. I still have a bit of faith for the MCU. Honestly, after this movie and Loki Season 2, I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see where this goes, especially for next year with Echo and Deadpool 3. I feel like the MCU just needs to take a little bit of a break to basically work things out, bring us what we want, because right now, I feel like the Phase 5 has been a pretty disappointing phase so far, so hopefully the MCU just keeps it up in general. Overall, guys, The Marvels is still a fun and entertaining movie. If you're a casual MCU fan, I would say this movie definitely will entertain you. I thought the three main leads are fantastic in the film. The action was very well done. Iman Vellani definitely stole the show for me. I cannot wait to see her character go on the MCU. I love Miss Marvel in this movie. The action's a lot of fun. The CGI for the most part is pretty good in the film. The story though is pretty much standard MCU. It's just like a fun and entertaining movie for what it was, but I feel like the MCU really needs to fix itself, especially after this movie. The villain is also rubbish. There are some characters that didn't need to be there. Overall, at least I wasn't disappointed at the Marvels. It's definitely a movie that surprised me. I'm surprised this movie wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But at the same time, this movie has not big of a difference for me. I am going to give the Marvels a C. Definitely better than Ant-Man was Quantumania, that is for sure. I had more fun with this movie than Ant-Man was Quantumania. I wasn't pissed at this movie. I just feel like this movie is just another standard MCU film that we've seen many times before. But I gotta say, after Loki Season 2, the ending, it starts to give me a little bit of faith in the MCU. And also the mid-credit scene of this film that you should definitely stay for. There is actually a big surprise in the mid-credit scene. Not gonna lie, even the ending of the film I was actually pretty interested. So guys, that is my review for the Marvels. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a nice day.